Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today for your Sunday, we just have a herO versus Snute matchup from 2019. Somebody asked for a Snute replay, so here it is. Bottom right corner, we have the red zerg player. It is Snute. And in the top left-hand corner, we've got ourselves the Korean Protoss. It is herO. He is blue. Alright, so Snute is a fan favorite. He hasn't played in the StarCraft 2 tournament for a while. I'm not entirely sure if he's retired or not. And this is the most recent replay I can find for him. Alright, so blocking the hatch, which is pretty darn standard in PvZ. And anyway, Snute is Norwegian and very handsome. And he takes his natural at the third base here on Kairos Junction, the latter edition. Yeah, I'm a bit of a kick on some older maps recently. I don't know. I guess I've been having the feeling like there's just too much competition right now in StarCraft 2 for the recent replays that are released, right? Like, Harston has joined the fray. He's done an incredible job with it. We've got Loco, we've got Wardy, we've got Winter in the house, we have Florencio and Pig doing stuff. And, I mean, I'm probably missing several other content creators for StarCraft 2, and it's just like, it's just a very crowded home right now. The home of StarCraft 2 on YouTube. So, I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe I should take the path that I took with Brood War, or just cast older stuff, right? Older things, maybe players we haven't seen in a while, on maps we haven't seen in a while. Just kind of fun to go back in time, see how the game was in different portions of the patches and everything else. Like, I cast a Beyond versus Snute game from, 2, 3, 4 years ago now. And holy smokes, it was fun because we had Ravens with point defense drones. I mean, it was crazy stuff, man. There were battle cruisers before they could shoot and fire at the same time. It was really quite an interesting experience, and I don't know, got some decent attention. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that happening or not. If you'd rather me just keep casting the more recent stuff, the most recent replays I have access to, I can totally do that. I mean, I'm obviously... Wow. You're coming in with the block. Oh my gosh, herO really wants Snute not to have a third base. That said, there's enough Lings in here to buy himself the time to get that third base down. The Adept is trying to micro to within an inch of her life. And she's in trouble, but no! Second Adept shows up to help her and save the day. And she'll be fine. Alright, cool. Excellent stuff here from herO. I kind of like this. He's like, if we get here with 2 Adepts before Ling speed is done, we can accomplish a lot. Right? We can just wander into the third base, kill all these Lings that are trying to murder us. The Queen is a bit of a bigger problem. Warp Prism on the way from herO. Interesting. Sentry in case a Ling counterattack shows up. And the Adepts get out. Look at this. This Adept right here has 5 kills. The other one, 3 kills. I'd say that is some pretty cost-efficient play for sure. And then the Probe actually makes it home. That's incredible. Oh, but the front door's wide open. Oh, crap. All right, so Lings decide to show up. I mean, maybe go for the Scout Snute? What did I just say about the Ling counterattack? Where's that Sentry? Sentry. Where are... Oh, Sentry's now... Was Sentry in the Warp Prism? I don't think so. That was horrible, man. 4 probes just died because Lings got inside the house when they should not have been able to. At all. So it does scout the Robo, but I already knew there was a Robo because saw the Warp Prism, obviously. And yeah, Snute is a player who likes his Lings quite a bit. So we'll see how he uses those, if he uses them to any great effect here or not. This is from Asus Rogue Summer Assembly 2019. So this is like 18 months old at this point. I'm trying to think what patches exist between then and now. Is there anything major? Is there anything huge that's changed in the last 18 months in StarCraft 2? I can't think of anything that affects this matchup. I guess Tempests don't have their anti-ground ability, the Tectonic Stabilizer upgrade, right? Where it does more damage to ground, well, to buildings. I'm like, ground buildings? As opposed to sky buildings, Falcon? Yes. But yeah, buildings, right? More damage to buildings so that Spore Crawler forests aren't as hard for Protoss to break in the PvZ late game matchup. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That might have actually dated back then. I don't know. Anyway, 8 roaches firing up here as herO is moving out across the map. That should be enough for herO to handle it. Although, oh, there's 2 immortals here. That's a lot. Dangerous for Snute all of a sudden. We're looking at 2 immortals. 2 immortals going for the attack. Yeah, the roaches aren't going to be able to do a whole lot here. I think these 2 immortals can one-shot a roach. Like, it's pretty bad for roaches. That said, the queens hitting the warp prism are a bigger problem because the immortals want to be able to flee as necessary. And if the warp prism dies, they can't do that because they're too slow. Warp prism is definitely their ride. Creep tumor sniped. This is so good. Yeah, this is great. You just snipe queens. You don't hit them quite as hard as you hit roaches because they're not armored units. And then warp prism just kind of, you know, going to where the lings can't follow, hiding in the fog of war. herO's making 5 gates behind this and is not really taking a 3rd base at all, which Snute knows. Snute recognizes there is no 3rd base, so this looks like a big-time 2-base, 7-gate or so attack with immortals. Probably some stalkers in here too. What he needs is ling count. Oh, that queen dies. Yeah, because the lings are the answer to the immortals here, but you can't get them when they're inside a warp prism, that's for sure. Some hiders would be pretty awesome. They do a better job at chasing down the warp prism than the queens are. I think they hit them harder as well. They're obviously more expensive gas-wise, but there's your trade-off. Is he going for... what the sentry? Immortal Sentry 2-base all-in from herO? What is this? This doesn't work because Ravagers exist. Although, if Snute doesn't have any Ravagers, that counter's not a thing. He's got 4. Okay, so 4 Ravagers. Does he know the sentry count that we're dealing with here? And here's your warp in. 4 stalkers. Whoop, 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 whoop. This is such a strong attack. It's 57 to 75 army supply. So, I mean, Snute has army supply to handle this. It's all lings, roaches, and ravagers. This is incredibly scary stuff, man. The force fields are up. Hallucinated Colossus in the mix. Is that actually enough to keep these lings away? Because lings are going to do all right for themselves, but chew the absurd chaos right now. Roaches pushing back. Everybody funneling through the left and the right sides. Some units stuck on this side of the force field, which is exactly what herO wants. Lings actually are going to take down the cyber core on their side of the map. herO is focusing a bit. Focusing maybe a little bit too much on this engagement, and by golly, it's just barely enough to force herO to flee. Maybe he's also worried about losing his cyber core back home. No more stalkers can get warped in, or sentries, or adepts. Wow, only zealots and immortals can be made right now. That was a huge pickoff for Snute. This is why I don't like it when Protoss put the cybernetics core in their wall. I don't know. I mean, I guess... I mean, this is obviously... it's a lot of Ravagers. Oh my gosh. You can't save everything. The shuttle juggling here is disgusting. The warp prism juggling is incredible stuff. The counterattack here from Snute seems to be fairly lethal as well. My goodness. herO does have more income, but he's on 2 bases, and again, no sign of a 3rd base at all. There's no splash damage in this army. It's all zealots without charge because the Twilight Council is just getting started. It was probably delayed because the cybernetics core got killed too. Oh, get that no, get the immortal. Oh, that immortal. Killing an immortal here would be so nice. But Snute's like, you know what? We're good. Let's go back home. Oh, he did lose his 3rd. I didn't realize he lost his 3rd when he got pushed away. I went to look at this and then came back and he was running, and I guess herO was like 3rd base killed. Job complete. Never mind. herO's in a much better position than I thought he was. It's 2 base to 2 base. He's getting his own 3rd base at the same time the Zerg player is, which is never good for the Zerg player at all. Goodness gracious. Oh, also, I guess we're bringing 1440p to some of the older replays too, so Adept warping in or getting shuttled, ferried over here. I don't know. Couple drones die. A little bit annoying, but I don't know. That's what the queens are for, I guess. It's just a big chunk of Protoss is what that army is. Pre-splitting. He wants to be able to cover the natural base and the 3rd base if lings start showing up there. Snute's got banelings. Does he have centrifugal hooks? He does not. So they're slow banelings, but you know what? Nobody's super fast here. Are we still doing adept stuff, apparently? Alright, Snute's setting up. Lings over... I like this. I like it. He's splitting his army. Jesus. It's This requires maybe a bigger zoom out right now. Do we have any force fields? Yes. Baneling's connecting on those Zealots pretty effectively, though. Zealots at least have to back up from that location. Third base for herO looks like it's going to go down, and it is. He has to let it die. Big explosion of blue there. That's fantastic. This is a good match. This is some really good ZVP stuff here. Really hard fought. Charge lot's actually pretty good against Ravagers, especially if the Ravagers aren't microing at all. Which Zealots are those one unit you really want to micro against. I guess Banelings are in the same category. Ling's reinforcing from the backside. The Immortal micro. Gosh dang, the War Prism micro is just ridiculous. Out of herO here. Did herO go to the military? Why haven't we seen him in a while? I don't know. Finish off. Okay, there we go. DT's. Immortal dies. DT's warping. These Immortals have seen some stuff. 13, or rather 14 and 11 kills on these guys. We're here to kill queens. No, we're not. Just kidding. There's too many queens. Get out. Get out of there. A couple Archons coming up here, too. And now it is. It is now 3 base. Neither player is on 40 workers right now. That is... Man. It's been a while since we've seen a match where neither player is at 40 workers at 11 minutes, right? This has been just scrappy. I like the scrappy matches, y'all, and I'm not even kidding. herO's War Prism micro today has been godlike. Hey, look who's third base is not happening. Dude, is Snute gonna win this? I gotta say, I think herO was probably ranked higher than Snute on Aligulac at the time this game was played, back in summer 2019. But man, Snute is giving herO everything he can handle. Protoss being on 2 bases is just... okay, on 2 bases at 12 minutes is really bad in the current Legacy of the Void setup here. And 18 months is not so long ago that it wasn't, you know, the current macro style of Legacy of the Void. You know what I mean? Oh, God, that Observer gets away with all of 6 HP. Ay, caramba. Third base from herO, warping in. Archon's still part of the match here. So I'd like to see Snute get into tier 3 at some point, right? I know it's been a weird match. I know it's been very scrappy. I know taking a 4th base hasn't been super viable because you went for that counterattack and did end up killing herO's 3rd, which was massive. But like maybe during this attack, Observer finally gets sniped, take a 4th base or get a hive or something. Snute is kind of playing like I like to play sometimes, where I get stuck on something and don't really tech up to what I need to win the game. I mean, you can definitely win with Roach Ling Baneling, although the fact that he doesn't have centrifugal hooks is extremely concerning to me as a Zerg player. Why doesn't he have speed for these Banelings? Can he really not afford it? I guess he doesn't have gas right now to do it. So no, he doesn't really wanted to afford it. Obviously, he's had enough at some point in the last 3 or 4 minutes, but... Looks like Snute wants to engage on creep, and herO does not want to engage on creep, so we'll just part ways here where the creep meets the ground. Yeah, Kairos Junction's a pretty good map. I kind of miss it, honestly. Slow Banelings just crashing on Archons is not great. Oh, this is pre-Baneling nerf, though. Oh, that is something. All right. That's okay. That's fine. So Banelings are doing more damage versus non-light units than they do today. Man, this is so many Immortals. herO with all the Archons known to man, but the 360 surround here. Almost a 360 surround. It's like a 640 surround or something. Wait, that's more. Anyway, this is going fairly well for Snute. He is pushing herO back. He's stutter stepping back and back and back and back. 22 kill Immortal. 10 kill Immortal. Like 25 kill Immortal. Archon's got 10 kills, but herO doesn't want to engage because he knows reinforcing Lings are on the way, which is why he's making some... Oh, actually Dark Templar and Zealots. So Archon Zealot here against the reinforcing Zerglings. Snute, you need a 4th base, man. Remember what I said about taking a 4th during that last attack? You really wish you had one now, don't you? You really, really wish that was the case. Whew, boy. All right, well, herO's 3rd base is happily up and running at the moment. Income is definitely favoring the Protoss player, which is not good at all for Snute. Does he really only have... He's only got shield batteries back home to defend against this, and DTs, which is enough. Which is enough to handle those Lings, absolutely. 105 to 95 total supply. Snute has a lead, but not really enough to handle this. You know, it's only... I'm really surprised we haven't seen Storm out of herO today. Not that he really has had the tech for it. He doesn't have a Temple Archives. But you'd think against this Ravager Ling Bane thing that Storm would be stupid good. I think the fact that he's not doing it is allowing Snute to live a little bit longer than Snute would otherwise be able to live, you know? Yeah, herO pushing in here. Immortals not really taking much damage, which is exactly what they want. Ah, focusing down the hatch. They do get the third base, and I think that's the death knell for Snute. I really don't see how he does this. If it's bad for a Protoss to be on 2 bases at 12 minutes, it is staggeringly bad for a Zerg player to be on 2 bases at 15 minutes. The math, it doesn't add up very well for the Zerg player at all. He either needs to kill herO's third base while re-expanding to his third. He doesn't even have the minerals to re-expand. Oh boy. Yeah, he needs this to work. He really needs this attack to do what it does, to take down this third base. Oh, the Warp Prisms just sharking around this army. Roach Ravager, I mean, it is 67 to 53 army supply. Snute does have a lead here. APM 500 for Snute, 340 for herO. But the 3 shield batteries, I was going to say they're a big deal, but 2 of them are about out of energy, so maybe not. Banelings still do not have speed. This is one of the craziest, weirdest situations. The Corrosive Bile dodging by herO is sick. Again, this dude's micro is crazy. Is he making... He is making more Zerglings instead of taking a third. This is not going well for you, man. You just lost a ton of resources there. It's 21,500 resources lost for Snute, 17,000 for herO. Mass Archon's not that good versus Roach Ravager, but the Zealots and the Immortals and the Sentries are the problem here. And that's it. GG for game number 1 of our little sneaky best of 3 here today for your Sunday series. herO sticks around massacring the rest of the army, but does get the win here in the game. So GG, herO, nicely done. What's wrong with me? There you go. We made it. That was, Archon was the only splash damage he had. No Colossus, no Storm. Just made it happen exceptionally well with Archons, Zealots, I guess Sentries, a couple Adepts, a couple Stalkers, and the Immortals. Obviously very, very important there. Resources lost, way more for Snute, and just never got a 4th base up and lost a 3rd twice. That is not going to do it for you against somebody as good as herO is. 49 roaches died. That is so many roach. That is so many roach. 13 drones, 2 hatcheries, which is brutality. All right, so that's game 1 of our sneaky best of 3. Let's move into game number 2 of our sneaky best of 3. See how this is going to work out for Snute and for herO. And yeah, how about that? We'll be right back. Here we are on Acropolis. Top left, Snute. Bottom right, herO. Good luck, have fun, says our Norwegian Snute. Good luck, have fun. Back to you, says herO. Ah, so polite. Terry the Overlord is scouting out, and I've always enjoyed this little outdoor restaurant area on Acropolis. One day, the restaurants and cafes will open and everything will be back to normal. What the heck is this? Is that an Ultralisk? Definitely looks like an Ultralisk. Very strange. Alright, well, we've got the actually 17 hatching there is Snute. A little bit strange. Probe shows up not nearly in time to block that at all. Like, not even the tiniest bit close. Snute going for an 18 gas and a 17 hatch. That's how you know it's a Zerg. Cha-cha. Anyway, happy 2021, everyone. Hope you are enjoying yourself. It's kind of weird I'm starting 2021. Well, sort of starting 2021 with a 2019 game, but hey. That's the way the cookie crumbles. 1 gate expanding. Nothing too crazy here from herO at all. Very, very safe opening. Can do whatever you want from this point as a Protoss player. You're not constrained in any way. You can go for fast ETs. You can go for Adept all-ins. You can go for Void Ray. Oh, Void Ray's bad. That's another one. Void Ray opening's not actually super doable here. Because Void Ray's not as fast, they're not as cheap, and they're not built as quickly as they are in the current patch in 2021. Amazing! Okay, that's another one. So we're not going to see Void Rays when we would quite possibly see them in a match if this was played, you know, more recently in the current patch of StarCraft 2. So, intriguing indeed. Hey, if you've been trying to find new episodes of the Falcon Paladin Hour and you're like, they're not showing up on my podcast app, well, that is true. But Samacron did actually put a bunch of them out on your podcast app over the last few days here. So if you've been going to the feed for the Falcon Paladin Hour and been like, there's nothing here at all for a while, that is true. That was true. It's not anymore. So check it out. You will be happy. There is so much podcast content. You know, if you happen to be sitting around doing nothing on a Sunday, that might be a good thing for you to enjoy. Just search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app. Whatever it happens to be, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatevs, will be there. Also on Spotify, so that's kind of nice. Oracle coming on in here from herO. Oracle's name is going to be Raid Shadow Legends. The Protoss has been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Would you rather play our game or be burnt into dust? And why does everyone always pick the second option? That's good stuff, man. This probe going to make it home? No. I'm going to go with no. Wait. The regen... Oh, 1 HP. Regen 1 unit of HP and survived. That's fantastic stuff. So, second Oracle on the way. Raid Shadow Legends has a friend. Going to show up to try to persuade you to play their game. But, again, apparently people would rather be turned to dust rather than do that. Wow, it's very quiet, man. There we go. Music comes in. 8 drones on the way here, too, for Snute. Snute is one of those players that is pretty darn incredible at just macroing up and just having barely enough to survive the attacks that come in. He will have a pretty darn good economy here. Last game was weird. I don't feel like he ever had a great economy in the last game. We'll see how he does here against double Oracle. There's a Phoenix on the way, but it's late. Oh, get that creep tumor. Ooh, creep tumors aren't light either. Okay, that's a difference. We're finding differences here. We definitely are. So a 2 Adept, 2 Oracle opening right now. Zap, 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 zippity, zappity, zoop. That's the sound Oracles make when they're zapping you, a zippity, zappity, zoop. You probably didn't know that, I bet. But it just comes from, you know, casting StarCraft for as long as I have. That was a trap. Trap! The Oracles do come and save one of them. Couldn't be bothered to save the other Adept as she tries to shade on out. And does. So, alright. Snute doing alright. Supply blocked, which isn't good. Third base coming up from herO, which is not good. Snute needs a 4th base or needs to launch an attack at some point. Ooh, look at the fast Templar Archives this time, too. Man, I still feel like if herO had Storm in Game 1, that would have been a much different environment. Hydralisks coming in. Hydraling Bane is still a viable strategy 18 months ago, and was. And getting Centrifugal Hooks. Okay, so Snute getting Baneling Speed and herO getting Storm were 2 things I wanted them to do in the last game, and they're doing both of those things now. So I feel better about it, is what I'm trying to say. 4 Hydras on the way. Yeah, Hydraling Bane for sure. Maybe get some Lurkers in here. I don't know. Lurker, good unit. The like 5.5-minute Archon harass. Ah, here comes the Phoenix Oracle play. Yeah, so you lift the Queen out of the way and you try to kill stuff. Oh, this is so good. This is so good from herO. Holy cannoli. Yeah, are they really trying to burn down the Baneling nest? This seems like a weird use of your energy. Oh, I guess. Oh, Hydras are popping out and just getting killed. Snute? Are you just getting... Oh, force fielded out of his own main. Oh, the humanity. I hate it when that happens. No Ravagers to break the force field, but Good evacuation of the drones. And that could have been a lot worse. That could have been so much worse. If herO had another warp cycle of like zealots or something he could have sent in here, that might have been GG. But as it stands, Snute is sending his lings and his hydras across the map. They're getting their speed upgrade. They already have the range upgrade because that's the priority in general. He's planning on being defensive with them. Oh, it's a free sentry, though. What up, sentry? That sucks. Lord Prism says, if you're going to move out, I guess that means we're free to move in? Maybe don't take direct hits from the queens, though, man. Alright, so that queen is dead. The Archons are in a bit of trouble, but they should be saved by the pickup. Oh, nope. Not at all, actually. Oh, geez. 2 Archons die. Big time attack. Trying to get into the third base, but this is where the bulk of herO's army is. They've been waiting for Snute. Force fielding a couple more hydras go down thanks to extra force fields. Well done there. So speed for the hydras is almost done, making them pretty darn scary. This is a pretty good map for Hydraling Bane. Especially if they have the speed. Especially, you know, if you have any Banelings, which, by the way, Snute does not. Resources lost. 2,500 for Snute. Only 1,300 for herO. Snute getting a 4th base for the first time today. That's good. I do like seeing a 4th base against a 3-basing Protoss for sure. This is a tenuous situation. This is a tough place for the Zerg player to be because this is where you're most vulnerable. Right? Your economy is not as good as your opponent's. Well, it's the same as your opponent's, which is bad. So you're trying to get your economy up to where it needs to be, but also this is a time when attacks like to come in. Snute kind of throwing these lings away. I didn't like that at all. Did they kill any Protoss units in that engagement? I'm not sure that they did. Ugh, that was a little bit sloppy from Snute for sure. 10 more hydras in production. And that is why we do not have Storm researched. I'd love to see Storm against this mass hydra stuff. This is so much Storm. 7 Banelings coming in. Macro hatch here at the 3rd base. 4th base is actually going to pop in peace, it looks like. herO doesn't seem to be able to bother it at all, but herO's getting his own 4th base. He's doing so well economically here. Creep Tumor's getting sniped. All this debris getting exploded. You know, you'd think debris couldn't be exploded into smaller pieces of debris. It's all debris, right? Anyway, Storm is about 50% complete now. herO heard me, started Storm as soon as I started complaining about it. But yeah, this is 4 basing Protoss versus 4 basing Zerg. 73 workers to 54 workers. This is, man, herO's playing this like a Zerg player. Look at this. How much blue there is on this map for this entire match so far. Snute needs a huge round of drones to saturate this 4th base, and then we can deal with it. Although that's a fleet beacon coming in from herO. Yeah, if you recognize your opponent is really sinking a lot of resources into Hydralisks, if you can get up a pretty big fleet of carriers, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, you can handle pretty much an infinite number of Hydras. If you only have 2 or 3 or 4 carriers, it's not as good for you. That's why I said pretty big fleet, you know? And the Storm is there. It is. There's your Storm. Banelings crashing in on the Zealots. Exactly what you want to see there. Zealots are the enemy of Hydras and have been for some time. Trying to jump on top of those. Oh, they do get the High Templar storming their own HTs there. Oh, no. Tried to storm them to keep them alive and actually contributed to their death pretty darn effectively. This 4th base for herO is in a lot of trouble. Straight up Immortal. Turns out not very good against all of these Hydralisks. That said, it's not a lot of Hydras. Zealots warping in to join the party here. And it looks like, wow, looks like herO manages to hold on to his 4th base, warping in those charge lots to just make sure the Hydras can't feel comfortable. And bam, so many Hydras went down there. We're looking at 34 Hydras dead in this game already. 25 Zealots, all 4 High Templar got killed. There are no more High Templar, actually. Not really rolling with the Storm as much. It seems an interesting choice. Mothership on the way. That is tres interesante. This is just, I guess I kind of like it. I'm not going to say no to a mothership. We don't see those a lot, especially outside of the context of Sky Toss, which obviously this is not Sky Toss. This is Ground Toss with a mothership. Extra level of intrigue. Yeah, it's just, herO's got a bigger army. He's got a better economy. He's up 20 supply. It's just, I mean, this is a cost-efficient setup here from Snute, but it's not that cost-efficient. Good heavens. He's just engaging with Immortals because he knows the Banelings are pretty worthless against them. He ends up turning his High Templar into Archons to keep them alive. Lings cruising in. Zealots now coming to the front, which all the Banelings are gone. Plus, the 4th base is done, and bam, that's it. Snute taps out. herO's your winner. Yeah, the Zealot attack into the 4th base was massive, and then just not enough. Where did all of his stuff go? I looked away for 2 seconds. Oh, he quit the game. And then all the Hydras died because they weren't fighting anymore. Fair enough. So yeah, herO 2-0's Snute here today. Pretty fun stuff, though, overall. I'd say haven't seen a Snute or a herO replay on the channel in some time. And a pretty good match for your Sunday. I'm not going to argue. So, yeah, I mean, just that last battle from herO was so awesome. He kept the Zealots and the High Templar back here. Went forward with the Immortals until the Banelings were all gone, and then swung the Zealots around. High Templar got some Storms, turned themselves into Archons, so the Banelings coming around the southern side wouldn't kill them. And then the Archons were useful in the incoming, or the upcoming, further push, right? The counterattack here of herO. These Zealots were just chowing away. Couldn't kill the 4th base of herO. You know, couldn't hold on to this 4th base of his, and that was it. So nice little 2-0 there from herO. Protoss fans are going to be happy. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.